All right, let's put it back together. Let's put this Rode into USB back together, which I am actually getting kind of good at now. So step one, make sure that your this thing is rotated towards the knob. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna insert, well first I'm just gonna lay the speaker down. You know, we're going this way, this will be easier. So I'm gonna insert the board from the back here, like this. And we're just gonna let the speaker chill right there. We're gonna take this guy right here, and because this cable has no play whatsoever, we gotta kind of trick it. So we're gonna start sideways like this. We're gonna work these little edges of the board out in front, and we're just gonna kind of slowly, let's see here, get them up top there. We're just gonna slowly slide. We're gonna make sure the cable is in that little drop zone right there, that little notch. And we're just gonna slowly slide this into place. Gently, gently. Okay. Make sure everything's still happy over here. There we go, we got it. All right, now what we're gonna do, so we're gonna worry about this connector here. This connector's kind of annoying, but whatever. But it's a member of the family, so what do you do? So I'm just gonna with my fingers, just kind of gently back and forth. You know what, maybe I'll clip this board into place first. Let's push this in here. Yeah, we'll do that. So I'm just gonna, so right there is the slot for the board. Just gonna make sure I'm lined up on both sides. We'll make sure I'm lined up. It looks like there's a slot in the back too, so we're gonna just make sure we're lined up. Yeah, the back has two prongs like this, so just make sure your board is going in between the two prongs. There we go. There we go, and it clicks right in when you just gentle pressure. Let's see here. Okay, now the connector should be much more lined up. So now we're just gonna gently coax it forward here. Oh yeah, this is gonna be easy. Just try it, and then we're not gonna force it, and we're just gonna slowly rock back and forth. And it's in, it's connected. All right, and then let's see here. We'll get this guy, we'll get the headphone assembly, the microphone assembly itself back in place. The microphone assembly, this is the speaker, so that should be pointing, sorry, this is the microphone pickup. So that should be pointing in the direction of the headphones, the front of this thing. So we're just gonna, to get him back in, you know what I should maybe do is I maybe should, if I was really smart, I would take this guy out so that I could connect this to the board. So this connector would already be here, but I'm not quite, I just don't have the right tool for it. So we're gonna have to settle for second best here. All right, so this guy is gonna come out this way a little bit more. Don't worry too much about this guy. Most of this is just rubber. The cable is the only thing that's really moving data. So we're just gonna kind of force it in there like that. I'm gonna line these holes up. Yeah, I think what you should do probably is this guy, this knob in front here, which you can get off pretty easily. It's got a hex head on it. It's hard to see. There's like that, you see that there? You see that little flat edge? So if you get the right tool, you can remove this and then remove this knob, and then this whole circuit assembly can come off together, and it will be much easier to reattach this rubber piece to the circuit if it's not already inside the housing in the frame here. So, but what I'm gonna do instead is I'm just gonna kind of get these little rubber dudes where they need to be. And I've tried in the past to get them connected from this position, but I couldn't, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm actually gonna ship this back to get it repaired because I can't solder that USB-C connector onto the board myself. So we're just gonna get these little knobbies aligned with their spots. All right, so this is in there, and that's about as in as I'm gonna try to get that for now. Next, we're gonna do these easy weights on the bottom. Complicated looking one slides in the back like this, and the simpler one slides in the front like this. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna screw them into each other. So here's the screw. Drop that bad boy back there. Just gonna get the screwdriver aligned. And I'm not gonna try and win any awards for tightest screw in the galaxy. So once it's mostly in there and you don't have to like try too hard, it's a little loose. We'll give it just a little bit more, just a little bit more. Because if you strip this out, you're just gonna make your life miserable. Alrighty. Next, I'm gonna put this volume knob back on that I popped off to show you guys the cool internal workings. There we go. Actual next is the foam. I cut this foam down the middle and the back because it's foam, so it shouldn't matter that much. And it makes my life easier for disassembly and reassembly. Oh, and I just noticed this has these little cutouts that'll line up with this cutout here. So you want to make sure that the foam is put in correctly so that it lines up with the cutouts correctly. So I'm just gonna. This process again would also be different if you had the right tool for that knob so that you could remove the knob correctly. There we go. Just gonna gently pull that on in there like that. Just gonna pull it back a little bit and make sure that the gaps on the foam line up correctly with the gaps in the housing, just like that. All right. The one downside, I think, to cutting this right here is that it doesn't have quite as much structural integrity to push it against these edges, but oh well. We'll wait to drop Mr. USB-C in. We'll start with the front plate. We're gonna put the front plate back on. So to do that, we're gonna rotate this backwards. Get Mr. Front plate right here. And we're gonna take a screwdriver and pop these edges up. Pop these little fastening clips up. You're gonna have to pop all 4 of them up. So there's 2 here, and there's 2 here. That one looks like it's already up. This one's soon to follow. Just all just popped up. You can just kind of see they got little securing slots in there. So now what we're gonna do, oh, it looks like a face. A couple eyeballs and a mouth, that's funny. All right, is we're gonna put the front panel back on. And so to do that, just slide it on kind of evenly at first. This is gonna take a little bit of pressing, but I'll just. So we'll start with one side and get it pressed in real good. This sometimes takes a little bit of convincing on the part of the installer. Okay, there we go. So I got it. You hear that click? See how this side is all nice and flush? Now I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. There we go. This part takes a little bit of pushing. So if you secure your hands on these plastic outside housing parts, you can squeeze those without a lot of problem because they're the exterior body made to design to take the damage. Don't put your fingers here or on the circuit board even, because those parts are not the parts you're supposed to be pushing hard on. So now we're gonna rotate this back again this way. As I rotated it, we're gonna have to probably re-loosen these bottom. I'm just gonna make sure all these clips are good and loose. There we go. We're gonna take this guy. Oh, it's time to put the USB port back in there so that when the repair guys find it, they can swap it. You can just live in there for now. Enjoy the few remaining days you have. All right, we're gonna just gently push this side. It takes a little bit more pushing, a little bit more convincing. There we go. I'm gonna push it real good. Oh, this one wants to go in much more than the last one did. Okay, so now this is all flush. So we're gonna take these guys and we're just gonna clip them back into place. That looks right to me, yeah. And again, credit to Rode for making a screwless design that's still pretty decently user accessible and pretty easy in terms of tools. Like, I feel like in some ways this is superior to screws. I mean, it's a little more annoying to get it off, but like once you know how to get it off, that's pretty awesome. So anyways, that's how you put it back together again. Thanks for joining me, and good luck with your repairs.